Hey guys, hope all's good and welcome back to my channel. And I hope all of you have watched part two of this lecture series on the short story by Ray Bradbury titled There Will Come Soft Rains. This is part two of that series where I will continue to explain further this short story. In case you guys have any doubts in your mind and you want to ask anything from me, you can comment down below. I will check your comments. I check all the comments that come to my channel and I will cater to your request. Even if you belong to ninth class, 10th class, you are from a different educational board, irrespective of everything, if I can help you, I will try and make videos for you related to English literature and especially to my students from class 11th and 12th of ICSE, or I should say ISC board. If you guys have any problem, you can reach out to me. This channel has been started with videos that are focused on your needs. So I would love to hear from you guys and I will help you. I will try to help you as much as possible. So without wasting any more of your time, let's get into it.
It quivered at each sound the house did. So up यहाँ पे ना when you read this sentence that it was until this day how well the house had kept its peace, how carefully it had inquired and getting no answer. It had shut up its windows and drawn shades in an old maidenly preoccupation with self protection, which bordered on a mechanical paranoia. This particular stanza, it uses the literary device of personification. Even write it down. Personification. Personification का मतलब होता है uh, to give human like qualities to non-living entities और टू नॉन ह्यूमनली क्रीचर्स, जहाँ पे आप इंसानों जैसी क्वालिटीज बाकी ऑर्गेनिजम्स को या फिर स्पेशली नॉन लिविंग ऑब्जेक्ट्स को आप देते हैं, दैट इज नोन एज पर्सोनिफिकेशन. तो यहाँ पे इसको पर्सोनिफिकेशन कैसे दिया गया है, पर्सोनिफाई कैसे किया गया है हाउस को, क्योंकि उसको ह्यूमन लाइक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स दिए गए हैं बिकॉज दे हैव शोन दैट इट्स नर्वस and it's trying to protect itself. Okay, protect itself, which is very, and it's nervous in in a very humanly way because it's inquiring, it's asking you for passwords, it's nervous, it's paranoid like an old maiden, especially this line, drawn shut up its windows and drawn shades in an old maidenly preoccupation with self-protection which bordered on a mechanical paranoia. So just like a old maiden, it's trying to protect its virginity, it's trying to protect its dignity. So this is very human like trait. So here we have used the device of personification. Again, the same device has been used over here. It quivered at each sound. The house did. जो हाउस है वो थरथरा रहा है. इट्स साइलेंटली शेकिंग. तो ये तो कोई लिविंग बीइंग या स्पेसिफिक इस मतलब स्पेशली कोई ह्यूमन बीइंग थरथराता है, नर्वस होके. दैट पर्सन थिंक्स अबाउट थिंग्स एंड देन दे बिकम नर्वस एंड दे स्टार्ट टू quiver, they start to shake. If a sparrow brushed a window, the shade snapped up. अगर कोई स्पैरो आ जाती है किसी विंडो, हाउस की किसी विंडो को, इट ब्रश्ड अगेंस्ट इट, यानी उस विंडो के पास आती है, तो क्या होता था, शेड्स, जो विंडो शेड्स होते हैं, they are like this. You can refer to this image, and the shade they used to snap up to protect the window from the bird. The bird startled flew off. Of course birds get frightened very easily, so it used to get frightened, it used to get startled, and then it flew off. No, not even a bird must touch the house. So Such a small harmless creature like a bird, even that thing can also not touch that house, so it's so paranoid. But in reality you understand that it has been fed this data, that you have to protect yourself from invaders, whether they be humans, whether they be animals, whether they be birds. 12 noon, a dog whined. Whined is, to make a long, high, unpleasant sound because you are in pain or unhappy. You must have seen when a dog gets hurt or a cat gets hurt, they make, especially dogs, they make a very typical sound like this. So they make this sound, and this is basically whining. So there, now a dog has come up to the house. A dog whined, shivering on the front porch. The front porch is that front section of the house. This is a front porch, and it came up to the house and it started whining and shivering. The front door recognized the dog voice and opened. Now the dog is a member of the family, definitely. Earlier, we did not know that the dog also belongs to this family, but now it has come back from somewhere and it's not in a good condition. It's shivering and it's whining out of pain, and but the dog has been recognized by the house and it has opened its doors for the dog. The dog, once huge and fleshy, earlier it was well taken care of, it was fat, it was huge in size, but now it is starving. Now it has gone to bone. That means it's become very thin. You can see its bones. Its bones are clearly visible from the outside, because you know that when someone is very thin, they have no muscles, they have no fat, you can very clearly see their bones peeking out of, forming a structure, and which you can observe very easily, and covered with sores. Now it has been injured or it has been infected. Moved in and through the house. So it moved about the house, it entered the house and moved about, tracking mud. So it brought with it mud, it brought with it dirt. Behind it word angry mice, angry at having to pick up mud, angry at inconvenience. These mice can't get angry, but it looks as if they are angry, but because it's a very human like characteristic or human like feature, that if you must have noticed when your moms clean your house, or when a housekeeper in the morning they clean your house, now your house is very clean, orderly, and now someone comes in with mud in their shoes, with dirt and dust in their hands, and they dirty your floor, they dirty your house, they upset the settings. Your mom gets very angry. So it's like very similar to that particular thing, that the robotic, it seems like the rats are angry at the inconvenience that we will have to pick up the mud, but in reality they have no emotions of their own. And the word is because the rats, they moved out and they started cleaning the house. Okay, for not a leaf fragment blew under the door, but what the wall panels flipped open and the copper scrape rats flashed swiftly out. So, ek patta, a leaf fragment, a very small leaf, even if that entered the house premises of the house from under the door, there is a small gap under your door. So even if a leaf entered from there, the wall panels, they opened up and these rats, they came out and cleaned it. So they were so very maniacally concerned with cleaning and doing their jobs, because they are robots. At the end of the day, they don't get tired, they don't get frustrated. The offending dust, hair, or paper seized in miniature steel jaws was raised back to the burrows. Offending, why has the author used this word over here? It means that this dirt and dust is not welcome. The job of these mice is to do away with such unwelcomed guests, these dust particles, hair, paper. So these are offending, as if they are offending the rats. They were seized in miniature steel jaws and then they raced back to their burrows. And over there, we know what happened to the dust. They will tell us. And so, seized in miniature steel jaws, they have tiny, tiny, jaws, tiny teeth, which are made out of steel. And copper scrape rats flashed means they are made. Their body is made up of copper, metals. Basically, they are robotic, and they are machines, and they flashed swiftly out. That is, they moved out very quickly to clean all of this dirt. And their down tubes, so from there they put the dirt and dust particles into, all the garbage was put down into the tubes, and from there it moved into the cellar, which is an underground room used for storing things. So it fed into the cellar. It was dropped into the sighing vent of an incinerator, and from that cellar, that waste, that garbage, moved into the opening opening of an incinerator. Incinerator is a machine for burning rubbish. So that garbage was burned down inside an incinerator finally. Sighing went, why have they written? Because that garbage from the burrows, it moved down the tubes, it was thrown into the tubes. From there it moved into the collected into the cellar, and then from the cellar it moved into the vent of an incinerator. Vent is an opening. Sighing vent, because when that garbage, when that all that dust and dirt, it moved from that vent, जब वो उस वेंट से एंटर करता था, उस ओपनिंग से एंटर करता था, there was some this kind of a voice, and it seemed as if a human is sighing. Sighing ऐसे expression होता है ना, when we say this is sighing. So that same kind of sound was produced by the vent. And यहाँ पे also we have given the vent a human like quality, कि जैसे वो कुछ express कर रहा हो, वो sigh कर रहा हो. It is, maybe it's tired, maybe it's frustrated by cleaning all day. क्योंकि there are no humans, so who is left to give human like qualities to? The machines. The machines are working, the machines are speaking, the machines are functioning, so we are giving them human like qualities. They are the most alive things in this dystopian setting. When you can write down an opening. Incinerator is a machine for burning rubbish. And your cellar is an underground room used for storing things. Incinerator, which sat like evil Baal in a dark corner. So, evil Baal. Now, evil Baal kaun hai? Evil is basically a bad person. Baal is an ancient pagan god associated with fire and sacrifice. Incinerator में क्या हो रहा है? The rubbish is getting burnt down. So that is why the incinerator has been called as Baal. क्योंकि Baal जो था एक god था, ancient god था, and he was a non-Christian god. He was there before Christianity. तो ऐसे religions को pagan religions बोला गया है Christianity में. And he was not considered, he is not considered a good or a good being or a good existence or a good deity by the Christians. Just a comparison. So Baal, you can write down who is Baal. Baal is an ancient pagan god associated with fire and sacrifice. I know all of this might not be very significant for your question and answers, but when you're reading a text, you should try to understand the significance or the meaning of these words. क्योंकि अब आप ही सोचो कि अ, अगर आप इस चीज़ को समझोगे नहीं तो आपके माइंड में क्वेश्चन आएगा कि इविल बाल कौन है और इंसिनरेटर को इविल बाल क्यों बोला गया है? बिकॉज़ बाल वाज़ अ पेगन गॉड associated with fire and he demanded sacrifice, and the incinerator feels as if just like Baal क्योंकि उस पे भी you are sacrificing the garbage to that incinerator and it is burning down that garbage. The dog ran upstairs, hysterically yelping at each door, at last realizing, as the house realized, that only silence was here. So the dog ran upstairs, it was yelping at each door, it was trying to, call out to its owners to see if someone is there. And at the end, it realized, just like the house realized, house is a non living entity. The robots are not alive, they cannot sense things, but it's as if they can also understand things and they can understand that nobody is living here any longer. It sniffed the air and scratched the kitchen door because it's starving. So, what it did was, as soon as it felt that something is being cooked inside the kitchen, it started to scratch the kitchen door. Behind the door, the stove was making that same, breakfast stove was preparing pancakes, which filled the house with a rich baked odor and the scent of maple syrup. तो pancakes बना रहा था, richness, creaminess, yumminess, baking की जो अच्छी सी खुशबू आती है whenever you cross a bakery on the street by the I mean the bakery is located at the side of the street, and whenever you cross it you can smell those freshly baked breads and croissants or whatever, and you can feel that smell entering your nostrils, and it's a very sweet and pleasant smell. And the scent of maple syrup, we also put maple syrup on pancakes. Now when you're reading the sentence you will think, okay, now what next will happen is that the dog will probably be able to at least eat. Now that it is inside the house, it will no longer starve, it will be able to eat the food that is otherwise going to waste. The dog frothed at the mouth, मुंह में पानी आ जाना. When you're hungry or when something very delicious you can smell, your mouth starts watering. The same has happened to this dog. Lying at the door sniffing, its eyes turned to fire. It ran wildly in circles, biting at its tail, spun in a frenzy and died. It lay in the parlor for an hour. तो dog इतना excited हो गया at the smell of the food that it started sniffing, its eyes turned to fire, it ran wildly, it ran in circles, it bit its tail, it spun in a frenzy. It couldn't tolerate all of this excitement and it ultimately died. Frenzy का मतलब होता है a sense of great emotion or activity that is not under control. जब आप बहुत ज़्यादा emotional हो जाते हो, बहुत ज़्यादा activities कर रहे हो, you are in a lot of excitement और आप control में नहीं हो अपने. And parlor is basically a sitting room in a private house for entertaining visitors. Sitting room जैसा आपका बैठक होता है आज की डेट में, तो वहाँ पे died. So you can imagine the kind of suffering, the kind of pain that the dog went through in all of this time frame, during all this time. that as soon it was so starved, it was so weak, it was in such great suffering, it was so, in fact, it was also lonely probably. And as soon as it smelled something great, all of that excitement, it overwhelmed him, and he instantly died. He couldn't even handle all of that excitement. His body, his brain couldn't handle all of that happiness which he got when he smelled those freshly made pancakes and maple syrup. So now it has died. 2 o'clock sang a voice. Now the dog has died, and now from 12 it's 2 already. Delicately sensing decay at last, the regiments of mice hummed out as softly as blown grey leaves in an electrical wind. Now, electrical wind. Even the kind of wind that the author is talking about is electrical. Why has he used electrical over here? Again, to convey to you the sense that nothing is natural anymore. Nothing is natural. Everything is artificial in this world. And delicately sensing कि at last अब इतना time हो गया, and the body of the dog has started to rot. Now the mice, it quickly, very softly, all the mice, the regiment, the collection, the all the mice, they moved out softly, just like blown when the air, when the wind blows, the leaves are blown in all directions, especially the dried down leaves, but the gray leaves are blowing, not the brown. When the leaves decay, they become very brownish, beautiful brown ripe color, but here the leaves are gray, very robotic. The robots, the metals are associated with this kind of color, and even the wind is electrical, so nothing is natural in this world. So this is a form of writing, basically, to convey to you that the surrounding is so eerie, it is so artificial, and this is a dystopian post apocalyptic setting. Now it's 2:15 already, and the dog is gone. The dog was gone. In the cellar, the incinerator glowed suddenly, and a whirl of sparks leaped up the chimney. So, the mice, they cleaned up the body of the dog from that, from the parlor, and the dead body was moved into the incinerator, and because it was burning and such a big organic matter, a dead body, that is why the incinerator glowed suddenly, and a whirl of sparks leaped up the chimney. So, a lot of sparks moved out of the chimney. जैसे फायर के स्पार्क्स जैसे या ashes, smoke, all of that suddenly moved out of the chimney क्योंकि इतना सारा organic matter has been, a dead body has been burned down. So that is why, that is to convey that its body has been burned down by the incinerator. 2:35. Bridge tables sprouted from patio walls. Bridge tables is basically, a bridge table is a compact square game table designed for four players to play card games, featuring a cushion top and foldable legs for easy storage. It's a table for playing cards. You can see this image. So this is a bridge table. Sprouted means came out from patio walls. Patio is basically, it's a flat, hard area behind the house where people can sit, eat, etc. outside. It's an outdoor setting. It is usually associated behind the house. So the walls of that particular area are known as patio walls. So patio walls में ही the bridge table was folded into the folded uh, into the wall, and now it is time for card games, the usual routine, I guess. And now they have came out of the patio walls. Now they have came out. Playing cards fluttered into onto pads in a shower of pips. Basically, the playing cards, the deck of cards, they are dropping onto the pads. So the cards are, collecting and onto the pads, so that the players can start with their game. Martinis manifested on an oaken bench with egg salad sandwiches. Music played. So the house is following its owner's exact same routine even after they are gone, because it is a machine. But the tables were silent and the cards untouched. So even though the tables are silent, there is no one to play those cards, but everything is going as per the routine. Martinis are drinks. They are being served on a bench, and egg salad sandwiches are being served alongside, and music is played. So uh, what was the routine of these owners, the adult ones, is that they used to play cards, maybe with their friends or with their neighbors or something like that, and they used to have martinis along with egg salad sandwiches and music playing softly, and music playing in the background. So even though they are no longer there, the machine is following its routine as per usual. So, up till now, we have studied half of this short story till here. So, now we have studied this short story till here. So, just wait for the next parts to be uploaded, and I will upload them soon. And I hope, Srija, you did not face any kind of problems like a sudden test, which for which I'm really sorry I couldn't upload it earlier. I would have if I could, but I had some personal work because of which I couldn't upload on time. It took me some days, so I apologize for that. And if I hope you have understood the story till now. In case you have any doubts, you can comment down below. I will try to, in case there is some word that I did not explain the meaning of, or if that word is particularly bothering you, you want to understand its meaning, you can ask me in the comments down below, and just wait for the next parts of this story.